CVA's AccuraSeries, Bergara barrels for guaranteed accuracy, nitride for guaranteed rust proofing, and a rifle guaranteed to be the best muzzleloader you've ever shot. CVA, it's just a better gun.
All right, guys, this segment is being brought to you by our friends over at Soul Shine Pizza. They're at 4021 Hughes Crossing at Suite 101 in Franklin, Tennessee. Or give my buddy Steve Brandon a call, 615-379-7767. They got lunch specials Monday through Friday. They can also take care of all your catering needs. Be sure to stop in there and talk with Steve about deer hunting as well, guys. All right, welcome back to the studio. Been talking tonight all about the youth season. I got Tucker Smalley in here with me, and we've been talking with you, Tucker, about your first hunt. Got to take people along on that. Kelly Lacey got to take you along on a hunt with her. 16 years old. That was her 4th deer. So, I mean, you know, guys, these kids, they get, not only do they get into it, they get good at it. I mean, you know, they got, number one, I'll say, and he may be the same way, Courtney, but they have got sharp little eyes, number one.
Oh,
Emery will spot a deer 9 times out of 10 before I do almost every time. They've got sharp eyes. They can see. She can see good, and she catches them moving. But you know, they're good at it. They're good shots. It seems like once they, you know, if you'll just kind of teach them right off the bat, they don't get any bad habits, they just jump right in and grab a hold of it. And so they're, you know, don't have any doubt that you can get out there and you can teach them. Yes, they need to be guided and taught, but you can definitely get them going. And Tucker, you're a prime example. You've jumped right in there and done so much. But you've already been out of state once. Well, tell me a little bit about that. You got to go hunting in Kentucky, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Did y'all get to see any deer down there? How did that go?
We saw a few does, and then one buck stepped out, but it didn't go high enough to shoot it.
That's right. You saw him, but you never got to see him good enough to take what you would consider an ethical shot, did you?
Right.
You were more proud of that than just about than you would have been if he'd have got it, wouldn't you? I mean, that's how it works sometimes. I mean, because that is just as important as being able to make a good ethical shot is knowing when not to try to take one. And so I commend you on that as well. But I know you had a great hunt down there. You were down there at Snipe Creek. We've had many great hunts from Carl and the guys at Snipe Creek here on the show. So you were in the right spot. You know, it just don't always work out, does it? Nothing is guaranteed about it. I don't care what you're doing or where you're going. I mean, you could be in the gar hole or the best spot, and you just never know what's going to happen. So, but what do you got coming up here? Say you're fixing to go somewhere here real soon. Where are you going to go now?
I'm fixing to go out to Texas.
Are you really looking forward to that?
Yes, sir.
Now, you're going to be able to go down there. How long are you going to be there?
2 days.
Be 2 days?
Yes,
so
sir.
You got 2 days in Texas. Let me tell you, for all of those at home that have been there, I have been to Texas and hunted several times, and in 2 days, a lot happens in Texas when you're hunting. You're going to have a great time. I'm excited for you. I can't wait till y'all get going. So y'all are heading down there. You get to spend the weekend there, so you're going to have your juvenile hunt basically at the same time as everybody else, but you're going to be in Texas. So I'm really looking forward to hearing from you guys on that.
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about, you know, I was just talking about the kids and getting them into shooting. You have to really make sure you find something that fits them well, a caliber that fits them well. Tell me a little bit about what do you have him shooting, Courtney?
So we started out shooting my 308, and it was just a bit much. A bit too long, a bit too heavy. And then Santa Claus brought him a 243 in the youth model.
Fit him just right, didn't it?
It's perfect. It is perfect.
Fit him just right, and a lot of times, and what the difference in that youth model, we were looking at a rifle the other day, and it was significantly shorter than my daughter's youth rifle.
Right.
And a friend was like, I think your son could shoot it. It's shorter. Well, he was correct. The gun was a lot shorter than this, that, and the other. But what really matters is what's called length of pull. And so if it's made for an adult, if the firearm's made for an adult, that child's not going to be able to comfortably reach it. And the key is you've got to have them comfortable. So don't worry near as much about the brand or the caliber or anything else as you do. Make sure it's something that they can comfortably have.
And you need to shoot more than just a weekend of juvenile.
Absolutely. Take them and practice.
Shoot quite a bit.
And we talk about our Facebook page a lot. We do a lot of posts and tips and things on Facebook throughout the week, but I put a post up yesterday, and I believe, Courtney, you commented on it, some ways that you practice with Tucker too. But when I had kneeling out, because see, again, I've gone through it all with Emery. I've seen her, and so I've kind of seen the problem. So when I took him out and got him first started, yes, I let him shoot off a vise and let him work his way over to, you know, it down to where he was trying to freehand a little. Well, when we went to do our final practicing the other day before this weekend, I put him in a blind. And we sat in a ground blind with 2 fold-out chairs in it, and we worked through, you know, this is too high, this is too low, and get through all that stuff. And if you do all that when you're practicing, not only will they be more confident, but you can stay more, you know, more calm and confident in getting them going.
That's it.
Because you would hit little hitches like that. Everything's perfect, and then you get in a blind, and you realize the wind is lower than that vise you had when you were shooting, and now you can't get the gun up high enough, or it's too high. Now you're trying to, and it's a bad time to figure all that out when there's a deer standing in front of you. And so do work with them on that. Make sure that it's something that fits them very well. One other thing, and I think you definitely agree with me on this stuff. One other thing that I think is very important when you get them out there is make sure they are comfortable. Man, I spent a lot of days, and you know, you hear the stories. I walked to school uphill both ways and all this, but we spent a lot of days really growing up hunting as kids, sitting on boards, nailed up in a tree, freezing cold. You know, wind blow. You know, it's so different now. Now you've got pop-up blinds. You've got little buddy heaters you can carry. You can. I take a little blanket with us. I keep blankets and take them in the blinds with us. My daughter really, we use the heater some, but she would just soon take a blanket, wrap up in it, and she, you know. So, but the key is you really want to keep them comfortable. And if it's 8:30 and they're ready to go and they're cold or they're wet or whatever, go. That's it. Go. It's all about them. This is all about them. So you do that, I guarantee you're going to have a big time getting out there and being able to do that. So, Dayton, as far as just kind of switching gears just for a second, what's going on in the fall fishing world right now, man?
The minnows are up shallow all over the bank, especially at Old Hickory. I mean, schools of bait that deep. Look for the birds, of course. Birds are going to take you wherever you want to go. We're getting some south winds, so you're going to fish your north banks, but they're not pulling Priest yet. They're pulling some more of the lakes, but they're kind of holding Priest right now. I'm sure because of the drought, because, you know, they're using water out of it for drinking.
They took that rain from the other day, and they're holding on to it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just time of the year. I mean, it's that time.
It is. And I was on Old Hickory a few days ago, and we had a good day out there. And didn't just absolutely slay the crappie, but we had a good day and had some good fish. But now they had pulled it down some. It was. I mean, I've seen it a lot lower, but it was definitely down. And most of those fish, I kind of mentioned it quickly earlier, but it was almost just guaranteed they were going to be in 8 foot of water.
Sure.
I mean, we had some areas that were 12, 14 foot. We didn't really find much, and some areas more shallow, but that 8 to 10 foot band, if you could find the end of a boat dock in 8 foot of water, there's going to be one.
And you know, everything's a little low right now. All the lakes. I mean, they don't really have a lot of water to move.
They don't. Well, yeah, exactly. Like you say, what are they going to move around right now? Now, what does that change as far as the way that you would approach? I mean, obviously, they still got to eat, but
majorly changes it, because what you usually fish for, like our sauger fishing that we do off the banks here and there, that's not happening right now.
That's right.
I mean, that's not happening right now.
You're literally waiting on the
You're literally waiting on a 4 or 5 inch rain. I mean, we really need a big one, because I mean, there is nothing.
But speaking of which, once you do get one, we finally get that week of rain, 3 or 4 days worth of rain in a row, everything those tables will start turning.
And you know, like Old Hickory, it's a river system, so there's going to be a little bit of water moving from Dale Holland, Center Hill, and Cordell Hull through it. Yeah. Where, of course, Priest is your reservoir, so there's not anything but the Stones River and a few springs blowing in it.
Yeah, so it just kind of sits. But again, the fish still got to eat. That's not to be. It's just it's a little tougher right now than when we're getting some fresh water. Things are going to get better.
I'd say the Caney Fork's good.
It has, you know. Now I haven't been to the Caney Fork in a few weeks. The last time I was up there, we had a decent day, but it was still pretty warm then.
Right.
And the Caney Fork for me, hands down, the colder it is, the better the Caney Fork is. It just is. You know, I had a buddy used to tell me, you just don't think you can catch them if you ain't getting pneumonia, you know. But the truth is that you're going to have a better day on the Caney Fork when it's cold.
We're planning a kayak trip, and I happen to have a fishing kayak. So.
Caney Fork, here she comes.
Ready.
You know, getting to that, Courtney, that's something else that you and Tucker have really got. You like to kayak. I mean, and y'all fish. Y'all sometimes you just go and float and go check out waterfalls or whatever. And a lot of times you'll fish on them. And now kayaking, what's unique about that, and I've seen some of the places you've gone, but you can go a lot of places
You
that
get
other
in little
people
tight
can't go.
holes that, can't nobody else.
That's right. And there's a lot of places where there's good fishing holes in deeper water
that you cannot
where
get
there's
to.
a half a mile of water you can't get a boat through before you get to it.
That's it.
And there's some places that a kayak can really get you into those areas, and y'all seem to do that quite a bit. That's something we enjoy to do.
Absolutely.
You know, we enjoy to get on some of the creeks, and the Caney Fork is somewhere I try to go a lot. Some of your smaller rivers, and it's relaxing. You know, you ain't gonna run out of gas no matter what you do.
No,
you know,
that's for sure.
I don't know. That one day when Richard and I were paddling against the current,
You
with
ran out of
Roger
gas?
McMullen for about a half a mile because we were filming that show, and
Y'all did run out of
Randall
gas.
Haley. Yeah, Richard says he still hurts from that day. He complains to me about it all the time. But truly, no, it is a great way to get kids out and get them on the water as well. You know, today we're kind of focusing on the youth deer hunt, but hey, get them out there. If they're not, don't get into deer hunt, they're not into it, take them kayak fishing this weekend. Take them squirrel hunt, do something. Get them out there, because there's so many different things you can get them out there and get them to do. And I think that this weekend, again, is going to be a great weekend for deer hunting. They should have a great hunt, should set up really well. So,
and for the people that's not hunting and stuff and you want to get out, check some of our trails out here in Tennessee. It's got some phenomenal walking areas, just 10-mile hikes. State parks here are phenomenal.
Tennessee state parks, we go to them quite a bit. Matter of fact, we stay in them a lot if we're going to film wherever it may be. Last one, we were at Rock Island this past year, and we went up and we got a little place right there at the state park. And if you have not checked out the state park system, they have anything from, I mean, you can go pitch a tent somewhere in one of the designated campgrounds. Some of them have backcountry camping, all the way to bringing your camper to cabins.
That's
I mean, they have really nice little A-frame cabins in a lot of the state park areas that you can go stay with your family, fish, hunt in some of the areas. You know, an example of that would be like Cedars of Lebanon. You know, you can get a cabin there, take your kids, you can take them down there deer hunting or fishing in some of the local areas. So that is something to utilize if you don't. Just we're talking deer hunting tonight. My point is, I do want to emphasize: get kids out there. Period. Let's focus on that a little bit tonight. If they don't get into deer hunting, that's fine. There's plenty of other things they can do. But now, Tucker, as far as this weekend, do you think? Go ahead and make your prediction. You think you're going to get a buck or a doe?
A buck.
You're definitely going to wait on a buck. Okay, that sounds confident. Now, how many points is he going to have?
At least 12.
All right.
Hey, I like big goals.
That's right.
So at least 12 points, and you're going to get him this coming weekend. I think a lot of good deer are going to be taken this weekend.
Coming.
Hopefully, Tucker, you're going to get your 12-pointer and get that going. Let me hit one other thing too. I want y'all to remember and keep in mind that when you want to keep up with your CWD regulations, something that y'all talk a lot about with Tennessee Outside, that's where you can get a lot of information on this continually as far as your laws. But don't forget, just because you got your kids or you're going to your hunting camp somewhere else in another area or something, don't forget those same regulations still apply. So be sure that you don't carry or transport a deer somewhere you don't need to, because the last thing you want to do is something happen and get a kid's deer taken or something like that. So I had a note for that. I was looking for it, that's why I kind of mumbled there for a second. I had to find it on that sheet. Do not forget that, please, because we want to make sure all these kids have a great hunt. We're going to get ready to take another quick break. We'll be right back here in just a minute with some more Southern Woods and Waters.